and welcome to July 2025's Coffee and Card. We are in week 4 and I am Linda from lindaspapercraft.co.uk, and today we're using these dinky boats. They're so cute, and the Country Woods embossing designer series paper. Again, that has carried forward into the new catalogue, and it is one of my favourites, and it's so useful, and so many for backgrounds. It's just brilliant, and particularly for faux water backgrounds. It's supposed to be wood, but I do think that looks like water. Right, okay, so let's get started. Lots of die cutting today, which I've already done for you, and the ink I'm using is Night of Navy, because I've gone quite neutral, but you could use Crumb Cake or Early Espresso or Pool Party even. So have a look in your stash and see what you've got that you want to use. So I have done the die cutting beforehand and popped it all in here, so I'll show you what you do need to do. I've already cut the circles for you and added the blue, but I'll show you how I did that. But these are the boats. So, and here we are. So I've given you lots more paper than you need for the white, and so you could make another card quite easily with the card I've given you here. So you need 3 of, where have I put my dies? Oh, I've got my dies out. I can't find them now. So anyway, you need the little boats. It's going to bother me now. They're here. So you need the little boat and the little sails, and then this is the smallest rectangle from the Nature's Notes, Textured Notes die set. Okay, and I'll give you all the measurements in the description below. So I've cut out 3 of the little boats and then 3 sets of sails in Azure Afternoon, Melon, Mambo and Daffodil Delight. And I've glued the first one together. I'm just going to show you how I've done it, because we leave the mast showing. Okay, so there's a little mast there. So I'm going to use my pin glue, and I'm getting out my silicone sheets. One of my silicone sheets, got them both then, so I don't get glue all over my paper. And it does help things to stay still a bit as well. So what you're going to do, be very careful, because this is quite delicate, the little mast there. So I'm going to pop that on there, and I'm going to get my pin glue and just pop some glue on the sail here. So obviously there's only one sail, and you've got 2 sails on your die cut. Okay, pop it back in its holder and get my tweezers. So I'm just going to pick up the Azure Afternoon, and I'm going to pop that on just so that I've got a little bit of the mast showing. Okay, so we're lining up the middle here and the top. Okay, there we go. It's worth a bit of a fiddle. So that's that one. And then I'll do the same here. Now, see what I mean about that being very delicate? I'll just flip this over. So this sail is smaller than the other sail, which is why I'm putting the glue on the white and not the pink. But obviously leave the gap where the mast is. So I'm just putting glue in this sort of triangle here. Again, getting my tweezers in the right place and lining this up. There we go. How cute is that? Just checking I'm straight. I don't like it when I'm not straight. Never used to bother me. It does now. Right, okay. So there's your 3 little boats. And then in the rest of your kit you will have basic normal A6 card base, 14.85 by 21, scored at 10.5. And then, as I say, I've die cut you the smallest rectangle. If you've got last month's Coffee and Card, which was the Nature's Notes, well, either last month or I can't remember, sometime in the past. And then this is a 14.4 by 10. And then I had this square, and I've used stylish shapes to do these, and it is the 7.5 and the 6.5 circles. And what I did was I glued a piece of the designer series paper along the bottom of the square, which you can see there, and then die cut the circle out. Okay, now you can see from that that I've kept a random square, because this is not the square this one comes out of, but you can get the idea. So, and then I just glued down about the just under halfway, and then die cut it out, and that gives you this effect. Okay, so, which I've done for you if you've got the kit. Right, and I just thought that would look really nice there. It's like almost like a porthole looking through the side of a ship at 3 little boats sailing by. So let's glue this down. Okay. There we are. And we'll start from the inside. This one. Oops. I'm hoping you can't hear the fans in the background I've got. It's very hot over here at the moment, and us people in the UK are not designed to deal with 30-degree temperatures, so, and that's in Celsius, so we don't have air conditioning. So I have got 2 fans going at the moment, one in front of me and one behind me, set on the lowest, quietest setting, so I'm just hoping you can't hear it, but too hot to turn them off. Okay, so gluing that to the front of my card, and then gluing my circle, and then I'll position the boats. You do need to make sure your horizon is horizontal, which is where the word horizon, well, one led to the other, I'm not sure which way round it was. Okay, I suppose if your ship's moving, then it might not be horizontal. Right, so I am going to start with my pink boat. At the top. Maybe a bit higher. I think my water's higher on this one than it is on the other, so have a play round. Okay, and then I'm going to put my yellow one sort of here. It's like they're in a race. Go, and then the last one I'm going to pop up on. Did I put? No, it just looks higher. I'm just going to pop that down straight. Okay, pop it up on dimensionals if you wanted. So it's a nice quick one. This, apart from the die, obviously the die cutting took me a few minutes because you have to cut everything out separately. Okay, so that's the 3, and then I'll pop some dimensionals. Oh, I need to stamp my sentiment, don't I? I've got my happy retirement stamp here. And I'm just going to stamp that. It just fits. Literally just hangs off either side slightly. I'll pop that up on some dimensionals. Just dropped my cloth. And there we go. Just going to pop that across the bottom there. How cute is that? So I hope you have enjoyed that, and I will see you next week. Bye.